This video is about solving problems using the angle addition postulate. Suppose we're given this problem. We're told that ray AL bisects angle KAT. So what fact can we extract from that information right away? If ray AL bisects angle KAT, then that tells us angle 1 and angle 2 have the same measure or are congruent. So the fact we know from this statement is the measure of angle 1 equals the measure of angle 2. We want to find the value of x if the measure of angle 1 is x and the measure of angle 3 is 4x. So I'm going to label what this statement just said on the diagram. Measure of angle 1 is x, measure of angle 3 is 4x. The fact that the measure of angle 1 and the measure of angle 2 are equal doesn't immediately tell us what x is, because we don't know the measure of either one of these angles. But we can extract one more fact from the diagram. Remember that when we have a straight line and there are angles formed along that straight line, all of those angles must add up to 180 degrees, or the measure of all of those angles must add up to 180 degrees. So the second fact we know from the diagram is the measure of angle 1 plus the measure of angle 2 plus the measure of angle 3 equals 180. Now, this might be ringing a bell for you from algebra, where you had to solve two simultaneous equations and you had some unknowns. Here, x is our unknown that we're looking for, but the measure of angle 2 is also an unknown. So in essence, we do have two equations with two unknowns. Let's do some work on this algebra. I'm going to rewrite my two equations that I extracted from the facts given in the problem. I know that the measure of angle 1 equals the measure of angle 2, and I know that measure of angle 1 plus the measure of angle 2 plus the measure of angle 3 equals 180 degrees. And actually, I know something else, because I've been told that the measure of angle 1 is x. And I've also been told that the measure of angle 3 is 4x. So I'm going to substitute x for the measure of angle 1. And notice that from this fact, because the measure of angle 1 and the measure of angle 2 are equal, I can also conclude that the measure of angle 2 is x. What I've just done there is basically a simple form of the substitution method. I'm substituting x for the measure of angle 2 because I've been told that the measure of angle 1 and the measure of angle 2 are equal. So I'm going to substitute x here for the measure of angle 2. Now I have something that looks more friendly, because I have one variable and I have a number on the other side of the equal sign. So I can rewrite this as an algebraic equation. I know that x plus 4x equals 180 degrees. And now, since all of these are like terms, I can combine the three terms x plus 4x gives me 6x. 6x equals 180 degrees. Dividing both sides by 6, I get x equals 30 degrees. And since the question only asked me to find the value of x, that's my final answer here. Now I'd like you to solve a couple problems of the same type. Remember that you'll be able to get 2 facts from every problem statement. But sometimes you won't need to use both facts. Sometimes you will. So it'll be up to you to decide whether you have 2 simultaneous equations or whether there's one equation that you can solve right away to get the value of x. Now try this one.
Also want a chipmunk, a gumball, a friend, a horse.
Additional practice problems for this concept can be found in your textbook on page 22, numbers 29, 31, and 33.